Hello my dear students, how are you? You are most welcome in this next video of the video series for chapter number first, reproduction in organism. So students, in this video we are going to discuss about the sexual reproduction. There are lot of concepts and terminologies are given here which are very important for your CBSE exam as well as for your competitive exams. So students, be concentrated, it is just very important. So let's discuss about it. Students, the sexual reproduction you have read in 10th class also, but we will discuss in very briefly. So this is the reproduction which involves the formation of male and female gametes either by the same individual or by different individuals of the opposite sex. Means same individuals, some bisexual living organism, they can produce both the type of gametes, male and female gametes. That is why it is written here. But in other animals which are of opposite sex can produce these gametes, male and female gametes, separately. These gametes fuse to form the zygote, which develops to form a new organism. It is an elaborate, complex and slow process because it is time taking process. When gametes are formed, this is the time taking process. Gametogenesis, it also takes time, and the offspring or living organism is formed after much time. That is why it is slow process. Because of the fusion of male and female gametes, sexual reproduction results in offspring that are non-identical to their parents amongst themselves. So students, you know, in a sexual reproduction we have discussed that all the offsprings are identical to their parents, but in this type of reproduction, sexual reproduction, the living being or offsprings are produced which are not identical, just not identical to their parents. They are unique or different from their parent. They may similar in morphology, but genetically totally they are different. Means little bit they match their parents, but they are different from their parent. All organisms have to reach a certain stage of growth. So all living organisms, they have the growth period in their lifespan. So they reach the maturity. In this, they reproduce sexually. Means when the living being get birth, so since birth they reach the maturity. Maturity period is the period in which they can reproduce sexually. So reproduce sexually, this is the process, sorry, this is the time period, or this is the duration, or this is the lifespan period, is known as the vegetative period or the juvenile period. So juvenile phase or juvenile period, it is the term used for animals. In animals we can say the juvenile period. Juvenile period is the period from birth to when individual reach to sexual maturity. So this gap or this growth period is known as the juvenile phase. But in plant case, when plants or seed germinated, germination to when seed germinate, so germination to flowering, because the sexual maturity we can find in plant when plants gets flower. So first time plants get flower, there is to sexual maturity. So the time period from germination of seed to flowering of the plant, this is known as the vegetative phase. So vegetative phase, I think you are understanding well. So students, vegetative phase is the time period from the germination of seed to the plant blooms or flowers. So this phase of the variable duration in different organism may be of different. So in different organism the duration may vary. So let's discuss more about it. Students, this is the question given in your NCERT book. How long does it take for marigold, rice, wheat, coconut, mango plants to come to flower? Means in different plant the vegetative period may be short or long. Means it may be different. So in marigold, rice, beet, coconut, mango, how time or how long it does take? So monocarpic plants. So answer you will find here. So students, in this paragraph you can also take a screenshot and you can make your note. So your answer will be here, monocarpic plant. So what are the monocarpic plant? It is the terminology and it is very important. Monocarpic plant, they flower only once in their life, after which they bear fruit and die. So plants which only flower once in their life span. So these plants are known as the monocarpic plants. Okay. So both annual sunflower, rice, beets. So these are annual plants because only in a season means in a single season they complete their life cycle. In a single season they complete their life cycle. That is why these are annual plants. So sunflower, rice and wheat, these are annual plants. And biennial means when some plants they complete their life cycle in 2 seasons. Then in 2 seasons they complete their life cycle. So these plants are biennial and are monocarpic in nature. So these annual and biennial both are monocarpic in nature. Means annual plants and biennial plants. Annual plants just like sunflower, rice, wheat, and biennial plants henbane, radish. These plants may monocarpic in nature. So monocarpic is the very important term, and also these examples are very important. So students, these are the example of NCERT. So we are very important, we concentrated on it. So let's discuss more about it. So I think your answer is here, because monocarpic plants are the plants which take 1 season or 2 seasons to complete their life cycle, or in 1 season they can bloom, or flowers may appear in 1 season, just like in sunflower and rice and wheat. Okay. Now a remaining portion, mango, it will be here. So let's discuss more about it. Some perennial plants are also monocarpic. So what are the perennial plants? The plants which complete their life cycle in more than 2 seasons. That is why these plants are known as the perennial plants. So perennial is the term, it is used for the season. Means plant take to complete their life cycle more than 2 seasons. So are known as the perennial plants. So what are the example of perennial plants? Bamboo. Example, Bambusa tulda and Melocanna bambusoides. So these are the scientific name of bamboo. Remain vegetative for 48 to 100 years. Means, so the period mango like in means perennial plants, they may take this 48 to 100 years long period to flower. Means this is very long period. Then they fruit and die. Means this is the long vegetative period in the bamboo, 48 to 100 years. So this is very important. Monocarpic plant of Strobilanthes canthiana. This is very important for board exam students. Many of the time this question were asked in your board exam. Strobilanthes canthiana. The vernacular name is Neelkuranji, means local name. Vernacular means common or local name. This is Neelkuranji. Has a lifespan of 12 years. In the 12th year it flowers. Means at the last year of lifespan it flowers in 12th year. So fruit and die. Then after it fruits and die after flowering. So the plant came to flower last time in September, October 2006. Means last time it has been seen in September, October 2006. But now also the latest, I will tell you, the flowering converted large hilly tracts of Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu into blue stretches that attract a large number of tourists. So students, this is very important because it is given in NCERT. So NCERT is not updated. That is why last time it has been seen in September, October 2006, and in latest it has been seen in 2018. So in September, October 2018, because after 12 year or in 12 year after 2006 it has been seen in 2018, September October 2018. And now this question can be asked just like it, in which year it may bloom again. Means last time it has been seen in 2018, but how, means when it can be seen in future. So students, it is very important. Let's discuss, and I will show you the picture of Strobilanthes canthiana. So this is the picture of Strobilanthes canthiana. Students, you are looking a very beautiful flowers it has, and all the hilly area of Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka, it blooms bluish, means all the surface of hill stations it covered with this blue color flower. So it is very attractive. That is why all the tourists are attracted towards these hill stations. So I think it is clear to you. Students, let's discuss more. So this is, this is the picture of bamboo. Means bamboo you have seen, but sometime in some areas the flowers of bamboos are not found, or means the students or the children, they are of 16 or 15 years, they don't know that how bamboo flowers and how the bamboo flowers looks like. So this is the bamboo flower you are looking here. This is the bamboo flower. Now students, I want to discuss with you what are the polycarpic plants. So polycarpic plants, earlier we have discussed about monocarpic plants. So monocarpic plants, I think you understood well. So what are the polycarpic plants? So polycarpic plants are the plants which flower many of the time in their lifespan. Means just like mango, in mango's lifespan it flowers many of the time, means every year it flowers. So just like it, many of the plants which flowers many of the time in their lifespan are known as the polycarpic plants. So polycarpic plants, I think you are understanding. So answer is here: marigold, rice, wheat, coconut, mango. In all you can categorize that which one is monocarpic and which one is polycarpic. So in polycarpic plants, another is the confusion created that in monocarpic plant it is clear and that the vegetative period from seed germination to flowering. So the period is known as the which period? The period is known as the vegetative period. But in polycarpic plant, when seed germinate and it flower, this is known as the vegetative phase. But again flower next year, then this time, this the gap, or this is the period between two flowering, what it is called. So this is can be called vegetative period? No, students, this is not vegetative phase, or this is not juvenile phase. This is the interflowering stage, or you can say it is the interflowering. It is the interflowering growth phase. So students, only when once plant flower, so this is the vegetative or juvenile phase of the plant. But when plant flower after one time again flower, then this is the period between two flowering is known as the interflowering period. So you can write interflowering period. So it is interflowering period between two flowering. So it is interflowering period. So students, let's discuss more another thing among the animals, what it is called. So let's discuss. This is the another question given in NCERT. Can you list the changes seen in human being that are indicative of reproductive maturity? So when plants matures to reproduce, the period is known as the vegetative phase, or that stage of the flowering stage plant have sexual maturity, this is the flowering period or flowering stage. But in animals, what does it called? So in animals, the earlier of the sexual maturity period, from the sexual maturity, the earlier period is known as the juvenile phase, and the current in which the plant has the sexual maturity, this is the maturity period or the reproductive period. So this is known as the reproductive period. So students, this is the term. Your question will be here, means the answer of your question you can find in this paragraph. So let's discuss about it. Animal breeding. On the basis of the periodicity of breeding, animals are of two types, seasonal and continuous breeders. So these are another term, seasonal breeders and continuous breeders. So that is why I told you that in this chapter lot of terminology and concepts are here. So be concentrated students, otherwise you will get confused. Seasonal breeders reproduce at particular period of the year. So you know very well, seasonal means in a season. In a particular season, the animal breed. So seasonal breeders are the animals which reproduce at a particular period of the year. Example: frog, lizard, most bird and deer. These are the seasonal period breeders. But continuous breeders, what they are? Continuous breeders continue to breed throughout their lifespan of sexual maturity. Means when they attain once their sexual maturity, then they can breed continuously. Means every year or in their lifespan continuously they can breed. So examples: cattle, poultry, mice, rabbit, honeybee, queen. So these examples are very important students. So you can take a screenshot and make your notes. So let's discuss more. Students, I think in this one question of your question which is here, so I think answer you got it. Okay, now here we will discuss another question. This is among animals, for example birds, do they lay eggs all through the year or is it a seasonal phenomena? What about other animals like frog and lizard? So students, you know, just we have studied what is the seasonal breeder. So birds are commonly seasonal breeder. However, in captivity means in the interference or in the care of human, or you can say in manipulated environment. So when birds are kept in captivity, some of them have become continuous breeders. Example: poultry birds. So they make artificially continuous breeder. In poultry farms, hens continue to lay egg, unfertilized or vegetative eggs throughout the year. It is the commercial exploitation of faculty of reproduction for human welfare. I think you are understanding, students. So birds commonly are seasonal breeder, but human make them for human welfare, make them continuous breeder. So in poultry farms, this faculty of reproduction is exploited. So it is the very important question for board exam. Many of the time it was seen in your board exam. So students, so this is the answer of your question of that one, birds. Then so students, about frog and lizards we have discussed, they are the seasonal breeder. So about frog and lizards, these are the seasonal breeders. But about the birds we have discussed, when they are kept in captivity, they becomes artificially continuous breeder. So let's discuss more. Students, about of ovaries and accessory ducts as well as hormones during the reproductive phase, they are of two types. So this is the next phenomena, students. When in animals, just like human or mammals, in different mammals there is a change in ovaries and accessory ducts and also in hormones during reproductive phase. So what they are changes is categorized into two categories: menstrual cycle and oestrus cycles. So in living organism, these are two types of cyclic changes occur in their accessories, ducts and ovaries, as well as in body hormones. So what they are, let's discuss. Students, what is menstrual cycle? Menstrual cycle, it is a series of cyclic changes that occur in ovaries, reproductive tracts, hormone secretions of female primates. Primates, what are primates? This is the term, this is used for the mammals which are kept in order Primata. Order Primata. So Primata is the order. So you know, kingdom Animalia, then phylum Chordata, and after phylum class which one is Mammalia, then order Primata. So order Primata, mammals which belong to order Primata are known as primates. So monkeys, apes and humans are primates. From puberty to menopause. Puberty, it is the starting stage, or it is the juvenile period, you can say, when the these primates, they attaining the maturity of sexual reproduction. This period is known as the puberty. And menopause, it is the stoppage of cyclic changes. So when cyclic changes are started and when cyclic changes are stopped. When cyclic changes are started or menstrual cycle, first menstruation when occur, the stage in 8th class also you have read, it is menarche. When first menstruation occurs. So from menarche to menopause, cyclic changes continuously occur in the living body. There is a regular slugging of inner lining of the reproductive tract which is passed along with some blood as menstruation. So you know, in this duration of cyclic changes, the body uterine wall, यानी कि बॉडी के अंदर जो यूटेराइन कैविटी है, तो उस यूटेराइन कैविटी की जो वॉल है वो टूटती रहती है और ब्लड के साथ बाहर आती रहती है. तो इसको हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? मेंस्ट्रुएशन कहते हैं. An excessive sex urge is absent in any part of menstrual cycle. So excessive sex urge, it is absent. The periodicity of cycle is a lunar month. So this periodicity is known as the lunar month. So next we will discuss, students, this is the oestrus cycle. What is it? This is the totally different from the menstrual cycle, because menstrual cycle occurs in primates but oestrus cycles occurs in non-primates. So estrus, it is the term from which oestrus is derived. So oestrus cycle or estrus cycle, it is the series of cyclic changes that are found in ovaries, reproductive tracts and hormones of the female non-primates. So non-primates, it is very important, non-primate mammals. So mammals which does not belong to the order Primata, these are non-primates. Example, cows, dogs, cats, horse, buffaloes, their order may be different. There is period called estrus. So it is the Greek oestros, maddening desire, means at that time these living organisms, they have the excessive desire of or urge of sex. When the female have a very high blood titer of estrogen and develops a strong sex heat, means at this time their body temperature gets raised and they have the excessive urge of sex. During this period the female receives the male. During this time the female receives the male. Estrus lasts for 18 hours in cow, means it takes the 18 hours to lasting. Oestrus lasts for 18 hours in cow. This period of 18 hours, during this 18 hours the cow can be made their male. So about a beak in dog and cat. At the end of oestrus, the reproductive tract is slugged off. However, there is no menstruation. The slugged off tissues are absorbed. Means there is the big difference between menstrual cycle and oestrus cycle. Means menstruation occurs in menstrual cycle, but there is no menstruation occur in oestrus cycle, because the uterine wall, it is slugged off, but it does not come out from the body, because it is absorbed again, reabsorbed by the uterine body. So I think you are understanding, students. There is the main difference between the oestrus cycle and menstrual cycle. So students, this is the ending portion. So in end we will discuss deer and dogs are the seasonal breeders, as they develop the urge of sexual reproduction only during particular favorable period. So you know very well, mouse is a continuous breeder, as it remains reproductivity active throughout the year. So mouse, it is the continuous breeder, and dog and deer are the seasonal breeder. So students, so this is the ending. Thank you for watching this video, students. If you are liking the video, you can comment in the comment box. Also share and more among your friends. Also subscribe the channel. Thank you.